What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to another special video here on Anfield Agenda. This one is your unpopular Premier League predictions. Basically, I get to react to how stupid you guys are or are not, and we make a video out of it to see if we can have a bit of fun with it. So let's get on with it and see quite how silly some of your predictions are.
Chelsea will finish outside the top four.
You know, this is, on the face of it, a silly prediction that Chelsea will finish outside the top four. But we are recording this just after Spurs beat Manchester City. And, you know, Leicester have done incredible business as well. So it all depends on where the focus is and who has a bit of luck with injuries or not. Romelu Lukaku could well be another cheat code for Chelsea to try and get them a Premier League title or another European Cup. So it's probably not the worst one I'm going to hear today, but I certainly wouldn't be putting any money on Chelsea finishing outside the top four. I have them nailed on for a top four place.
TONEY will be Golden Boot winner.
No, that was last year. You missed that, mate. That was in the Championship. He's now up at big boy level where he's competing with the likes of Mohamed Salah and Harry Kane and Romelu Lukaku. And yeah, it's just not going to happen. There's more chance of me winning the Golden Boot in the Premier League this year than TONEY winning the Golden Boot in the Premier League this year.
Varane will flop at Man United.
It's always impossible to say. And what means flop? If he doesn't have a good first year, is that a flop? If he comes in next year afterwards and has a great season, will we still regard him as a flop? So I never like to give anyone that tag. Now, of course, I hope he's a massive, massive, massive failure at Manchester United. But his track record, World Cup winner, playing for Real Madrid, does suggest that he'll probably do well. So unfortunately, as much as I'd love to agree with that comment, I'm going to have to disagree.
TIMO Werner will score at least 15 goals in the league this season.
I don't think TIMO Werner will score 15 goals in the league this season, and not for the reasons most people probably think I'm going to say TIMO Werner won't score 15. I just think that with Lukaku coming in, with the likes of Mason Mount, Chelsea will spread the goals around. We've seen Alonso with a free kick in that yesterday. So, you know, I don't think TIMO will be full-on TIMO like he was last year, but I do think that he will bag his fair share of goals, but I don't agree that he'll get 15.
Man United will not be in the title race.
I agree. I don't think they will be in the title race, but I do think they'll be nailed on for top four. I know on the face of it, this seems really harsh, but I would also say that I have my doubts of Liverpool being in the title race. And my predictions, I have Liverpool in third place in the league and City and Chelsea fighting it out. But we've just seen Manchester United go and smash Leeds 5-1, Liverpool in cruise control at Norwich, and Manchester City go away and bottle it today at Spurs. So what the hell do I know?
Newcastle will be relegated.
They'll do what they usually do. They'll be like that girl in the club or that lad in the club that goes around flirting with everybody. That'll be like them in relegation. Then at the end of the night, they'll just about scrape it and go home alone and happy.
Sancho will be player of the season.
No, he won't be player of the season. I don't think he's at the level yet to be player of the season. He's in it with a good shout to be young player of the season. But if you look at the level of the quality of the players that are established and in the Premier League, the Salahs, the De Bruynes, I don't think he realistically has a shot at it this season. In the future, could well do it. Good piece of business for United, but no, he's not going to win player of the season.
Southampton will get relegated.
This is a difficult one because I wouldn't have had them in my relegation spots. In fact, I didn't. I had Burnley in there along with two of the promoted three clubs. But Ralph Hasenhüttl's side play in a way that they are leaving themselves open. They do go with a pressing, a Klopp-type system, but without the actual players to be able to do the system properly. And they've lost themselves Danny Ings, who was a guaranteed 15, 20 goals a season. So I don't know if they will. Their recruitment has been okay, but I do think it's a bottom half finish. So, you know, I don't think that the question is a million miles away from being correct.
Aston Villa are being overhyped and they'll finish in the bottom half.
Yeah, I think this is one that a lot of us have overhyped. I think I've had Aston Villa finishing 7th in my predictions with the additions of Ings, Buendia, Leon Bailey. It's a little bit of the unknown. And look, Dean Smith did an excellent job last season, but ultimately the quality of the Premier League is so strong. There's every chance that they could either finish 5th, 6th or 7th or 10th. Who knows? I don't know. Come back to me at the end of the season. Let's see if we're right.
Jack Grealish will flop at Manchester City. Another creative player is not what they needed.
I agree. I don't see why they went out and spent 100 million on Jack Grealish. And actually, part of this came from a conversation with Connor where he said, you know, what's Jack Grealish going to bring to that team? Is he an assist merchant? Does he score a lot of goals? And it really did get me thinking about, is it just a vanity signing for Manchester City? So there certainly hasn't been a lack of creativity in their squad. And I do think that Jack Grealish will have nowhere near the impact this season that people believe him to be. And he is not and never will be a £100 million footballer, apart from the fact that City were stupid enough to pay it.
Sadio Mane for the Golden Boot.
No, unfortunately not. It'll be Mohamed Salah for the Golden Boot. But I tell you what, Sadio Mane will be back to his best. I'd seen some of the reports yesterday, or some of the match reports and player ratings, giving him lower than some of the other players that had bang average performances. Sadio Mane deserves respect. I'm glad to see that some people are bigging him up in our fan base. And while I don't think he will be the Golden Boot winner or our top scorer this season, I do think he'll be back playing with a smile on his face, and he will be the assassin that we love.
Leeds to get Europe.
It's so difficult with Leeds, isn't it? Because they went and they were absolutely destroyed by Manchester United, but Bielsa's side can go on runs. I don't think that they will get Europe. I think that we wait and see what will happen with the likes of Rafinha in his second season in the Premier League. I've always said that even though Meslier has signed a new contract with the club, I think they're suspect in the goalkeeping positions. I'm a little bit worried about Leeds this season. I don't think they will finish as high up as many people believe.
Arsenal will be in a relegation battle and finish bottom 6.
We can but hope, can't we? Let's be honest. It's what we all need to cheer us up after COVID. I mean, a world where we come out of a pandemic or Arsenal are fighting relegation, it just feels right, doesn't it? Let's be honest. If we all ask ourselves deep down, would we love to see Arsenal in a relegation battle? Just for the meltdowns, just for the fume alone. I'd probably edge to say no, but every fibre of my body wants to agree with that question. So whoever asked it, I'm with you. I'm on your team.
SAINT-MAXIMIN will have a breakthrough season.
I think he's already had one, to be fair. He was suffering with long COVID, which kept his impact for Newcastle to a minimum last year, particularly in the opening part of the season. He's a fantastic footballer. When the ball gets at his feet, you can almost see St. James's Park standing up and waiting to see what can happen. He does have magic in his boots, but I think he's already had the breakthrough season. I think many of us know what Alain Saint-Maximin is capable of and admire him, because not only is he an excellent footballer, he seems like a really good lad as well.
Man City will finish 4th.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh, I'm smiling just at the thought of it. I really am. Manchester City finishing 4th. Let them have their usual annual League Cup. They're not going to be winning the Champions League, nor will PSG. So, yes, I mean, I'm going to agree with you just because I want to. Not because I think it's right, but just because I love you for saying it.
The improvements to VAR will make this season a better campaign than last year.
See, I don't think VAR is the problem. I think it's the cabbages in the VAR room and the referees in general. Now, yes, they did invest in some extra Sharpies to make the lines thicker. And I will admit that for the first few games that I've watched this season, there seems to be a lot less implementation of VAR. But I still stand over what I've always said. You can give these guys the greatest system in the world, but it still has to be operated by humans. And the humans that are operating the Premier League systems are just not up to it. How some of these guys are able to officiate at Premier League level, I will never know. So until they basically have robots making the decisions that have no inbuilt biases and are absolutely 100% spot on, and AI, intelligent learning as well, artificial intelligence, these guys don't seem to have much intelligence, let alone intelligence that improves over the course of the career. So I would say maybe Michael Oliver aside, I don't hold any hope for any improvement to the referee and officiating or VAR this season.
Harvey Elliott will have a better season than Mason Greenwood.
You see, this is a really difficult one because I think Mason Greenwood is further along in his development. I think they're both excellent footballers. Greenwood put on a masterclass yesterday, played really well against Leeds. For me, though, Harvey Elliott, when all is said and done, I think he is a truly, truly, truly special talent that we'll be talking about for years and years to come. So I think this season, I think Mason Greenwood will probably have a better season, but I think Harvey Elliott will go on to have a better career.
Naby Keita will score more goals than Pogba.
That's a very, very interesting question. That is, I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or a stroke of genius, because if Naby Keita can stay fit, he'll get in and around the box. Now, look, Pogba can score some goals. We know that. He's good with his head. He's good from outside the area. He's very good at setting up. But I think Naby Keita is the great unknown for Liverpool fans, especially because we haven't seen a whole year of Naby Keita being fit and available. So it is one that, would I put money on it? I don't think I would, but I think it is a very, very interesting point. And, I probably think Pogba will, just because he'll get more game time, score a few more. But I wouldn't say it's 100% impossible that Keita could do it. But unfortunately, again, I have to lean towards the no.
Everton to be relegated.
I think Rafael Benitez is the reason that Everton won't get relegated. Now, yes, some of you will point to the fact that he went down with Newcastle, but that was a completely different scenario, and they came straight back up. I don't think that Everton are poor enough to get relegated, but I do think all in all it'll be because of Rafael Benitez's genius that sees them finish in whatever position above where they should actually finish. They do. They had an opening win on the day of the an opening day of the season victory. I noticed a little few empty seats around Goodison Park now, which needs some explaining. But other than that, unfortunately, as much as I'd wish them to go down, I think Rafael Benitez, the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, will ultimately see them have too much strength to go down to the Championship. And look, it would really be much fun if we only got to play Everton in the likes of the League Cup or the FA Cup because they were a Championship team. Of course it would. Be fucking brilliant.
And finally, Liverpool will have an invincible season.
Yeah, see this, I don't care about invincible seasons. So if you said to me right now, Craig, Liverpool can have an invincible season and finish on 99 points, or Liverpool can break Manchester City's 100 points barrier, every single day of the week I'm taking the points tally, because to me, and I was speaking about this with Goldbridge the other day, that's what deems greatness. Whoever has the highest amount of points in a 38-game season since the new 3 points for a win or conversion has been done, that's the greatest team for me. So the Arsenal team that drew almost 1/3 of the season, I don't give them anywhere near as much credit as I give that Manchester City team, albeit, I'll take credit away from them for various other reasons. But to me, whoever puts the most amount of points on the board is the greatest team. So it killed me that we finished on 99 points and we could have very easily overtaken that Manchester City side and gone down as the greatest season in Premier League history. Right, folks, that has been my reactions to your unpopular Premier League predictions. And, some of them were a bit more off the wall than the others, but it was a very enjoyable process. Thank you guys for taking the time to send in those predictions to Connor on Instagram. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and we hope to see you back here soon on Anfield Agenda. Up the Reds.